the NBA, under Adam Silver's stewardship, said, nope, we're going to stand up for free speech. That's amazing that he did that. What kind of a partner have the NBA players had in the NBA, and vice versa? Give the players credit for being good partners to the league, because together they figured out a way to get all the local TV money, hitting the 72-game benchmark this past season, to have a complete playoffs without a single COVID case. The playoffs were great, by the way. They were thrilling. And to crown a champion. So when Adam Silver comes out, it's just like what I said with the Cowboys, Stephen A. Do they get a pass? Wait a minute. How much equity have you built up? What have you been about? When Adam Silver comes out and says, guys, this is what it is. There's TV money on the line. I think we got to start here. This is not a guy twirling his mustache trying to do you dirty. This is a guy who's just telling you the reality. If the NBA wants the economy to keep growing, or at least not shrink by almost $500 million or more dollars, you got to start before Christmas.
There's a couple of things. Number one, it's not just Adam Silver. It's the networks. 20% viewership is down was down in the summer. You've got a league that does, and networks that doesn't want the NBA colliding with the Olympics or going into an NFL season, because it drastically affects their ratings and compromises their bottom line. Part of the reason, from a collective bargaining standpoint, that you're in a position to offer the players the money that they're getting offered. They got 50% basketball-related income, a 50-50 split, but we know every category doesn't fall under the guise of basketball-related income. We know that the owners are getting some extra dollars on the side. We get all of that. But the flip side to it is this. If you know that ratings are compromised, and it's going to cost the networks money, and that network money is what facilitates owners negotiating collective bargaining deals with you that enables you to get your money, then ultimately you've got that to deal with. And keep in mind, Max, that I brought up the force majeure clause, which allows the NBA to completely just kill the collective bargaining agreement they presently have in place because of how the pandemic has ravaged the business. So if you are a player from a business perspective, because we know they pride themselves on being businessmen, it's important and imperative to understand that the NBA has that hovering over you. They can reopen collective bargaining talks. They can sit up there and say, look, we lost this money. We want this back from you. Let's renegotiate our collective bargaining agreement. And all of that is potentially on the table. And the reason why you're willing to jeopardize all of that coming to the forefront is because you don't want to show up 2 weeks earlier and 3 days before Christmas. That's just not intelligent.
Stephen A.
That's just not intelligent.
Stephen A. How would David Stern have handled this? A little differently, right? But there was a lot of faith in him because he kept growing the league and growing the business. Adam Silver took over for one of the most successful commissioners who ever lived in any sport. And he's done an outstanding job. And sometimes he has put principle over profit. And at other times he said, guys, this is the reality. I see no principle standing in the way of this profit.
Well,
so when you're like, that's what the networks are saying, yes, that's what I'm saying. Adam Silver's thoughts are for the best interests of the league. And in this case, it's not always the case, and in this case, that includes the players.
Well, let me
Even if they're having to take medicine they don't want to take. Oh, my God, the season just ended. We got to start again. Yeah, you do. Like, you should. You probably should.
Let me educate you about something. Adam Silver is phenomenal, and I know this. But some of it he learned under David Stern because he was David Stern's deputy for several years. That's number one. Number two, David Stern was clearly more abrasive than Adam Silver, no doubt about that. But Adam Silver is brilliant, and we all know this. But David Stern arguably was the GOAT. And David Stern, many, many years ago, told me this personally, God rest his soul. He said, look, anybody who walks into a negotiation trying to win every little thing ends up losing because you alienate the partners that you need to work with you in order to make the league flourish. And so it's important that the players flip that and understand that as well. Yeah, you might be in a position to sit up there and make demands, and you may want what you want, and it may be justified. But in the end, if the league can turn around and say, you know what, fine, we'll reopen the collective bargaining talks, or you're going to have to give us back $600 million or whatever the case may be. How do you win when all you had to do was show up to work 2 to 3 weeks earlier? That makes no sense. And
Yeah.
that's how they got to think.
And the best negotiations, not to sound naive, result in situations where all parties win, all parties benefit.
Something.
And there's also sacrifice made on all sides, right? You don't get everything as you mentioned. And to me, at least, what Adam Silver's proposing makes a lot of sense.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.